So, because I got to go back in a few minutes.
Still, this war seems to resemble the War of the Lions more by the minute. History tells us towns were set ablaze all across the country back then as well.
Really?
Thomas.
That is said to have been the case, yes. Although the situation back then is very different compared to now.
True enough. This war's been relatively bloodless in comparison, so something like this happening is a big deal.
What do you mean? Just two!
Still, in the long term, this is bound to hurt the Alliance's cause more than it will help. That's why I'm finding it so hard to picture that Rufus would give the go-ahead to do it.
I think it's safe to say it was just Duke Alberea doing his own thing. He really seems to hate how Duke Cayenne's higher in practice than him in the Alliance.
I'm sorry, but this is where we part ways. Captain, please let me disembark somewhere nearby.
What? You can't be serious.
You're not thinking of trying to settle things with your father alone, are you?
I don't have a choice.
I can't believe you would even entertain the thought. You need to take a deep breath and calm down before you do something you'll regret, Yusuf. How dare you? Don't act like you know the first thing about what I'm feeling right now.
I'll
As
stop
a
him.
member
Slap
of
him.
the Alberea family, I have a duty to stop my father. You have no right.
We have every right to interfere, Eustace. This is clearly too much for one person to handle alone.
Machias is right. You need to calm down and we need to think this over together.
Yeah, this isn't like you at all.
As your classmates and friends, it's not hard to imagine how terrible you must be feeling right now. But that's exactly why we want to help you, and I believe we can.
We should discuss how to approach this matter together.
That's a Class 7 now.
Still, this isn't a matter to be taken lightly. Your actions could have a profound effect on the war from here on out. If you're going to get yourselves involved, you're going to need to be prepared for the potential consequences. But I'm sure you guys know the deal at this point, right?
We fully understand what you're saying. So far, we've tried to keep our interference with the war itself to a minimum. However, what just happened in Keldic was an act of terrorism against innocent civilians. We can't turn a blind eye to that.
You're right.
We're all agreed there. The market manager did a lot for us, both during our field study and when we were lying low there after the war broke out.
I'm of the same opinion. He may be head of one of the 4 great houses, but the Imperial family can still make him answer for his crimes. So please, use my position and this ship however necessary to bring him to justice.
Thank you, Your Highness.
All right, I think it's time we come up with a solid plan. We can't allow Duke Alberea to do anything so inhuman ever again.
Thank you.
Huh? Is there a call coming through?
Where's it coming from? Bear with me a moment. This can't be right. It's coming from an airship owned by the Noble Alliance.
How can that be?
They must have sneaked into range. What should we do, Toa? I think I can shake them off if I try.
No. Put the call up on the screen.
It's a pleasure to see you all again. Especially you, my dear brother.
Rufus.
And Princess Alphen is with you too. Truly, it's an honor, Your Highness.
Rufus?
Goodness.
Why are you calling us?
I apologize for calling so abruptly. Rest assured, I have no intention of attacking or otherwise harming you. I'm calling because there is information of which I'd like to make you aware. Due to the rather sensitive nature of my message, this feed is a private communique from my personal airship.
What could you possibly have to tell us?
Does this concern Keldic by any chance?
It does.
It does indeed. I imagine all of you have seen what befell the town yourselves. The attack on Keldic was instigated by Duke Alberea alone. We of the Noble Alliance do not in any way condone it. If you plan to confront the Duke about his actions, you need fear no interference from us.
Huh?
Basically, we can do whatever we want to him.
I get it. You want us to take him out, don't you?
Really.
Surely not.
The bulk of the Kreutzen Provincial Army is already under my control. The attack was carried out by a small contingent of soldiers who remain loyal to my father. At present, they've walled themselves up in Auroch's fort along with him. With the aid of the Imperial Army, you ought to be able to take the fortress without much trouble.
This is insane.
They're not as well trained as the ones who are serving you, so you don't mind losing them, do you? I'm impressed at how cold-heartedly objective you can be, Mr. Chief of Staff.
Because he crossed the line!
Love it if we ended up killing each other, so you'd have nothing to worry about, huh?
Nothing of the sort, Miss Clausel. Still, there's no denying my father's actions will be a millstone around the neck of the Alliance going forward. But considering the position I hold, I can't very well publicly oppose him. And that's why I figured I might bring up the matter with all of you. Well, I've said my part. Oh, and Eustace, this is an intensely family-centric affair, as I'm sure you realize. I'm very curious how you'll approach it. Well then, if you'll excuse me, I suppose I'll hope and pray for your success this once, as a sitting member of Thor's Board of Directors.
Nothing like using other people to do your dirty work.
There remains a real possibility that this is a trap.
Still, now we know the Alliance wants something done about Duke Alberea as much as we do. This could be the best chance we're ever going to get to stop him from wreaking more havoc.
I can't allow my father to commit any more of these unforgivable crimes. I will go to Auroch's fort and apprehend Duke Alberea myself. And it would mean the world to me if all of you were to lend me your aid.
Do you even need to ask?
Of course we will. We'll be with you every step of the way.
With it, they finally began preparation to apprehend Duke Alberea. Duke Alberea's action against Keldred were believed to be in violation of a number of Imperial laws. With that fact as justification, Class 7 chose to call upon the aid of the 4th Armored Division and the RMP to formally place him under arrest. In the end, they settled upon the following plan. First, the 4th Armored Division would attack Berea's northern line of defense. Meanwhile, the RMP would attack the city's southern line of defense, forcing them to call for reinforcements from Auroch's fort. That's when we strike. This will give Class 7 the opportunity to attack the fortress using the courageous with relatively limited opposition. And once the fortress was under their control, they were to arrest Duke Alberea, effectively completing the mission. With all of this was being finalized, the remaining touches were put to Valemar's reinforced sword. The operation proved to be an opportune time to test it and collect much needed data. Next day, the time came for the operation to begin. Taking Auroch's fort. Well, the time's finally came. Is everyone ready to go? Of course. We can't let Eustace deal. This is our chance to avenge Otto's death too. I appreciate it. Just try and focus your thought on the operation for now. You can worry about other things later. We'll be right there with you. Sounds like everyone's all fired up and ready to go. This would be our first chance to test Valamar's newly fortified weapon too. How did it turn out? Great, actually. And like Laura says, today's operation makes it the perfect chance to test it out in battle. I hope so. It'll be a good way to iron out the kinks anyway. The more data I have, the better off we'll be when it comes to making the Tachi. Guys, the 4th Armored Division and the Railway Military Police are almost ready to make their move. Let me know as soon as you're ready, the sooner the better. I'm coming with you. It doesn't sit right with me to have you going up against high Jägers alone. That's no reason to let your guard down though. Make sure you have everything you need. No problem. The number of members in the party has totally increased to 7. You have to use those 2. What hurts me the most is that you could just run your strongest team, which is Emma, Pete, and Gaius. But we're going to do a little different. I need to kind of level some of these guys up a bit. We're going to be using these guys. Oh. I got 2 healers. Fine, we'll bring you in, Gaius. It's gonna hurt us the most that we have no speed. To advance the main story, speak to Thor in the captain's chair and select commence operation. At this point, you can technically do what you want. All of these has already been reported. See. Oh, I should have said this. If you have not leveled up, Sarah, you are going to struggle in this fight. I always known that we were in the middle of a real war, but until now, I didn't understand what kind of pain and sacrifice that truly entails. Same here, part of me still trying to convince myself that something just unjust couldn't really have happened. But what's done is done. We can't turn back time, but we can and will stop the Duke from doing anything like that ever again. That's right, we'll make sure of that. So let us commence operation. You guys ready to go? Your equipment in perfect order, right? And Valamar's all ready too. Choosing to commence the operation will advance the story with the current party members. Commence. You should be running your strongest team.
Everyone, commence final preparations. Depart for the agreed location. Once there, we're on standby until the assault begins.
Yes, ma'am.
Departing for the agreed location. We'll keep watch for any threats from the ground.
Course to the Kortsen province secured. Courageous, full speed ahead.